यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिविजाकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter number 24, The Renunciation of Kardama Muni, verse number 7 and 8. 7 has no purport. I'll read by myself, and then verse number 8 we will read together. Avadayam stada vyomni. Avadayam stada vyomni vaditra. This I will chant by myself. 8th one we'll chant together. Vaditrani ghana ghanaha gayanti tam sma gandharva nrityanti apsaraso muda. At the time of his descent on earth, demigods in form of raining clouds sounded musical instruments in the sky. The celestial musicians, the Gandharvas, sang the glories of the Lord, while celestial dancing girls known as Apsaras danced in joyful ecstasy. Next, verse number 8. Please repeat. Petu sumanaso divyaha. Petu sumanaso divyaha. Khecharer apavarjitaha. Khecharer apavarjitaha. Praseduscha disha sarva. Ambhamsi cha manamsi cha. Ambhamsi cha manamsi cha. Petu sumanaso divyaha. Khecharer-apavarjitaha. Praseduscha disha sarva. Ambhamsi cha manamsi cha. Word to word meaning. Petuhu, fell. Sumanasaha, flowers. Divyaha, beautiful. Kecharaihi, by the demigods who fly in the sky. Apavarjitaha, dropped. Praseduhu, became satisfied. Cha, and. Dishaha, directions. Sarvaha, all. Ambhamsi, waters. Cha, and. Manamsi, mind. Cha, and. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. At the time of the Lord's appearance, the demigods flying freely in the sky showered flowers. All the directions, all the waters, and everyone's mind became very satisfied. Purport. It is learned herewith that in the higher sky there are living entities who can travel through the air without being hampered. Although we can travel in outer space, we are hampered by so many impediments, but they are not. We learn from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam that the inhabitants of the planet called Siddhaloka can travel in space from one planet to another without impediment. They showered flowers on the earth when Lord Kapila, the son of Kardama, appeared. Translation with repetition. At the time of the Lord's appearance, the demigods flying freely in the sky showered flowers. All the directions, all the waters, and everyone's mind became very satisfied. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this chapter, renunciation of Kardama Muni, we are in verse number 7 and 8, and we are seeing here that Kardama Muni is Devahuti, his wife of Kardama Muni, is lamenting. That was the previous chapter, that in spite of having association of such an exalted husband, a devotee, Kardama Muni, she did not take advantage of the husband. Instead of seeking his association for devotional service, she unnecessarily spent time in other activities, in activities of gratifying the senses. Of course, she was also a very exalted soul. Not that she is going to be the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but this just shows her desire for devotional service that she's feeling, she's lamenting. It's not so easy to lament like this. So she is a very exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. So Kardama Muni is pacifying her by saying, my dear wife, do not worry. And Kardama Muni is going to leave after he gives the son. Kardama Muni is going to leave and go and practice austerity. So Kardama Muni is pacifying his wife that very soon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kapila, will be born from your womb, and you will be fortunate to have his association, directly the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You may not have had my association discussing bhakti, discussing devotional service, but you will have his association. So this verse is describing that now is the time when Lord Kapila is about to appear, the Supreme Personality. So these two verses describe the situation of what happened when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila Dev, was about to appear. So the first verse, verse number 7, it says, at the time of his descent on earth, the Lord's descent, demigods in the form of raining clouds sounded musical instruments in the sky. The celestial musicians, the Gandharvas, sang glories of the Lord, while celestial dancing girls known as Apsaras danced in joyful ecstasy. So this is what is happening, celebrating the coming of the Lord. When Lord Krishna also appeared, something very wonderful happened. So in the Krishna book, in the Bhagavatam 10th canto, it is mentioned, when Krishna appeared, what happened? Everything in all directions became very auspicious. Everything in all directions, so nothing is spared. Everything became very auspicious. All stars and planets became favorably arranged. Rohini star, which is considered to be the best star and the most auspicious star, appeared. All four directions became very peaceful. The rivers were flowing full of waters. Lakes were beautifully decorated with lotus flowers. Forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest began to sing with sweet voices. Brahmanas were performing sacrifices peacefully and chanting Vedic mantras. So like this we see everything became very, very auspicious. So here also something similar is mentioned. At the time of his descent, everything became very auspicious. That's the first verse. Then in the second verse, at the time of Lord's appearance, the demigods flying freely in the sky showered flowers. Just like we shower flowers when the Pallaki goes out. In the same way, the demigods are showering flowers from the sky. So how do we understand this, that the demigods are showering flower from the sky? So we have this information in the Bhagavatam that there are upper planets also. The earth is in the middle planetary system, the Bhuloka, then you have the Bhuvarloka, then you have the Swargloka, Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and the Siddhaloka, and then the Brahmaloka. So all these are the 7 planetary systems, and those who have piety in their account will go to the upper planets. And in the upper planets, these are the facilities that are available. That what is the facility? It is learned herewith that in the higher sky there are living entities who can travel throughout the air without being hampered. So here in this planet Earth, we are struggling to fly in an aircraft with so much of uncertainty whether we'll reach our destination or not. But we just go by faith. So Prabhupada uses example to say, if you have the faith that yes, this aircraft will take you to that destination, you never know. So in the same way, we also have to put our faith in the Vedic literature. The Vedic literature, if you follow those instructions of the literature, it will take you one day to the spiritual world. So Prabhupada is writing here, although we can travel in outer space, we are hampered by so many impediments, but they are not. So, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kauntaya sada tadbhava bhavita. How to go to the upper planets? It is not by some mechanical arrangement. We go to an upper planet by elevating our consciousness. In the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna says, those who are in the mode of goodness attain the upper planet. Which is that verse? Urdhva gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganya guna vrittishta adho gachanti tamasaha. Upper planet, Rajasa middle planet, Tamasa lower planet. So these things sometimes we learn from the pages of Bhagavatam that the inhabitants of the planet called Siddhaloka can travel in space from one planet to another without impediment. So these are the wonderful living entities. They are all devatas. Upper planet are all the devatas who stay, and they are welcoming the Lord by showering flowers. They showered flowers on the earth when Lord Kapila, the son of Kardama, appeared. So now here, the most important thing it is mentioned here, all the directions, all the waters, and everyone's mind, all, everyone, nothing spared. All directions, all the waters, and everyone's mind became very satisfied. Not just satisfied, but very satisfied. How did this happen? How all the directions, all the waters, everyone's mind, Shri Krishna, Rukmani, Satyabhama, ki. How everything became very satisfied. And this is such a wonderful thing. This is all that everyone desires in the material world, that I be happy and satisfied. So today Lord Kapila is not there. So how did everyone become satisfied? Because of the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Kapila. See the power of the Lord's appearance. Irrespective of who he was, everyone became very satisfied. Everyone means there must have been people who were, all different kinds of people exist in Kali Yuga. Of course, these were in those days, so it wasn't as bad as Kali Yuga. But still, nevertheless. So from here we can take a clue that if God is appearing, the potency, the power that God has with him, if he appears, everything will be clear. Everything will be wonderfully arranged. So how can we make God appear in today's day and age? God can appear in today's day and age in the form of His holy name. We just have to know how to invoke the Supreme Personality of Godhead by chanting His holy name attentively. Then the Lord will appear and we will also become very satisfied, very peaceful, very joyful. When Lord Krishna appeared in the heart of Devaki, then Devaki became extraordinarily effulgent, extraordinarily bright, extraordinarily happy because the Lord had appeared. And if we can make Krishna appear, not only we will become very satisfied, it depends on how good we are in our chanting. Not only we'll become very satisfied, we can experience a state, that love of Godhead, where our happiness will know no bounds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Svadanam. Ananda is happiness. That is Ananda Ambudhi. The happiness will take the shape of an ocean. So much happiness. And not only an ocean, an ever expanding ocean. An ocean which is going on increasing. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Svadanam. And every moment, Pratipadam. How much? Sometimes we are happy, right? But how long does that happiness last? For a short time. And then again we get pulled down to lower modes. When we are attending the morning program, when we are in the temple hall, when we are chanting, we'll be happy. But no, this is Pratipadam. Every moment you can be happy, you can be blissful 24 hours a day. Pratipadam Purna Amrita. You will be completely happy. Enjoying that nectar. Complete nectar. Purnamrita Asvadanam. You can actually taste it. Purnamrita Sarvatma Snapanam. And like here it is said, everyone's mind became satisfied. So Sarvatma Snapanam means everybody can be happy. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. So to propagate that this holy name is all that we have to get attached to. This is the only dharma. This is the Yuga dharma. And everyone must take to this holy name with all seriousness. To give this message, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was here, every day morning, you have those two songs, Jiva Jago, Gora Chandra Bole, Koto Nidra Jao Tumi, Isha Chira Bole. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every day morning, he would go along with all his devotees, along with all his associates around in the town of Navadvipa to do Harinam Sankirtana, preaching the message of the holy name. Jivana anitya jano ho sa. There are some very nice verses. Jivana anitya jano ho sa. This is in Udilo Aruna, I think, or one of those songs. Jivana anitya jano ho sa. We must know that this life is very temporary. It is not going to last long. Tahe nana vidha vipada bhar. And in this temporary life, one is that the life is temporary and there are innumerable difficulties. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, as Krishna says. So what we should do in this temporary life? Nam ashraya kori jatane tumi. We have to take shelter. There's only one shelter that we can take. Nam ashraya. Ashraya means shelter. Shelter of Nama. But he gives another very important message in this. How we have to take shelter of holy name? Simply just chanting? No. Jatane tumi. Jatan means with determination, with good endeavor, with good effort, applying our mind in chanting the holy name. Because if chanting the holy name can give us everything, it has to be done respectfully. It has to be done seriously. It has to be done attentively. It has to be done sincerely. And that is what Mahaprabhu is also saying. Naam ashraya karo jatane tumi. Yatan. Yatan means your endeavor. Yatan tascha dridha vrataha. Krishna also says this in the Bhagavad-gita. Thakoho apana kaje. And he says, oh, I have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra so seriously. What will happen to my work? No, you continue to do your work. You don't have to give up your occupational duty. You don't have to give up what you're doing. But take the shelter of the holy name seriously. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur further says, the last verse in this song, Naam vina nahi kichu go ara chodda bhuvana madhye. This is a wonderful declaration he is making. He is saying, Naam vina nahi kichu go ara. In the entire 14 planetary system or in the entire universe, except one thing, nothing exists. Kichu nahi ara. And what is that one thing? That is meaningful substance. That is Nama. See? So, we are so much attached to so many things in this material world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying everything is useless. Because at the time of death, which we are going to meet very soon, the only thing that will come to our rescue is this holy name. Our degrees, our bank balance, our designations, our position, my bodily color, my health, nothing is going to help us. Everything we are going to leave behind in this material world. The only thing that we are going to carry with us, your account will be checked at the time of death. Material account, you have a big, huge material account. Bank balance so much, money so much, designation so much, all these things. All this, they will close it and throw it. That's all. It will be destroyed with the destruction of your body. Next lifetime, if by chance, whatever birth you get, you have to accumulate everything from zero. You cannot say last time, this is my bank account and I had 1 crore rupees in that. No sir, that is gone because you're not the same body, you're a different body. You have to earn again. But what will go on with us? Our spiritual assets, the chanting of the holy name. So, we should, just like you see a materialist, every day he'll be working so hard because he knows with every day of working hard, he's going to earn more money. And he's going to accumulate his bank balance will grow. That's what keeps everybody active and working in the material world. He's going to get more and more and more. Actually, all this getting more and more and more is only entangling us more and more and more in this material world. See, such a dangerous situation. I'm not realizing that by getting more and more, I'm entangling myself more and more. Of course, if you're engaging these things in Krishna's service, then it's a different matter altogether. It will be liberating you. But if not, it is entangling. So in the same way, a devotee anchors how to increase his spiritual credit, spiritual bank balance. how much devotional service I am doing, how much chanting I am doing, how much reading I am doing, because this is what is going to free him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and he would go out and preach like this in the towns of Navadvip. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire was that everybody should become converted. Convert in that sense. Everybody should become devotees of Krishna. Now this was during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's householder life, the first 24 years that he was in Navadvip. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it so happened that many people escaped. They did not take the chanting of the holy name. Which all people? Only those who were little nice, little pious, little devoted, or even others they took, but a section of people escaped. They did not take to the chanting of holy name. They were the impersonalists, Mayavadis, false logicians, Tarka, they keep giving Tarka, non-devotees, fruitive workers, too much attached to the material work. All of these groups escaped. They were thinking, who is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He's a young Grahastha, 22, 23 years old. Why we should listen to him? And what is he speaking? Something like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started thinking, my mission in this incarnation was to deliver this holy name to everybody. And I am personally present here in the Navadvip town to give this holy name to everybody, but I am seeing this big group has escaped from my clutches. So he started devising a method how to attract everyone. See how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking, suppose we are going and preaching the holy name and some people are not taking, some people are taking. We will leave those people who are not taking, go to people who are taking, right? That's generally what we will do. So many souls. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking of which people are escaping from taking this, from chanting this holy name. I must go and devise a method by which they will also take to the chanting of holy name. So Prabhupada writes, this is an Acharya. An Acharya is constantly thinking and devising methods how to convert or how to make everybody Krishna conscious, no matter how fallen or how insignificant that soul could be. So Mahaprabhu also began to think. So what did Mahaprabhu do to make everybody take to Krishna consciousness? He takes sannyasa at the age of 24. Because in those days, even now, but in those days it was even more, a sannyasi was highly respected. And a sannyasi's words were taken very seriously. Because he has proven himself. He's a sannyasi, that means he's in the renounced order of life, the topmost order. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Grihasthas were not taken so seriously. Of course, it's a matter of consciousness, whether you're a Grihastha or a sannyasi, doesn't matter. All that matters is what is inside your consciousness. A sannyasi or a brahmachari not following regulated principles or not following Krishna consciousness may not be as advanced as the Grihastha who is following. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, it was not necessary for him to take sannyasa because he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. By Grihastha sannyasi, this changing, there would be no difference. So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas just to show his mercy on all those Mayavadis and false logicians, blasphemers, fruitive workers, non-devotees. So now what happened? Once he took sannyas, everybody fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they all became devotees except one group. One group still did not become a devotee. False logicians, blasphemers, fruitive workers, karmakant, all of them became devotees. But one group still did not surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who was that group? The Mayavadis, impersonalists. Because they were very strong. Mayavadis, they think, that is why Prabhupada says, Mayavadi bhashya shunile hoye sarvanash. Because they are very strong in their philosophy. It's not so easy to convert the Mayavadis, and Prabhupada points out in different places many things. So the three major reasons why Mayavad Mayavadis are, why they don't take to Krishna consciousness? Mayavadi hoy Krishnera aparadhi. They have done offense at the feet of Krishna. So it's not so easy to give them Krishna bhakti or Krishna consciousness. And why Mayavadis are considered to be blasphemous? Because number one, what are the reasons? Mayavadis they think God is impersonal. They've reduced God to an impersonal. Means basically God does not. They take the shelter of the Vedas and prove that God does not exist or God is impersonal. In another very serious mistake of Mayavadis are, they think they can also become God, merge with that supreme consciousness, eternal consciousness. So they deny God, or they say God is impersonal, and they say they can also become God. Mayavadi hoy Krishner aparadhi. That group still did not agree to chant the holy name. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still thinking how to convert the Mayavadis also. How to give this Krishna consciousness even to them. See how merciful he is and how nicely he's thinking. He's thinking for the welfare of everyone. So that time, these Mayavadis, they were their main place of stay in India was in Banaras. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he took sannyas, he went to Puri, and then he goes to Vrindavan for a pilgrimage visit. He goes to, and then, so when on his way to Vrindavan, the route was through Banaras. So he stopped at Banaras for a while, and when he was in Banaras, all these Mayavadi sannyasis, they started blaspheming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And their allegation was, who's the sannyasi, young sannyasi Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? If he really calls himself to be a sannyasi, he must follow the sannyas dharma. And what is sannyas dharma? Sannyas dharma is, you have to study Vedanta, you have to introspect, philosophize, study Shastra, not chant and dance and sing. What is this chanting, dancing and singing? This is not the duty of a sannyasi. Sannyasi means he should be very grave, sit silently, study Vedanta. So they thought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be Bhavuka sannyasi. Bhavuka sannyasi means a sentimentalist, a sentimental sannyasi. So this is what they started telling him. Of course, Prabhupada then clarifies in the purport very nicely. We know Vedanta more than the impersonalists think they know too. What is Vedanta? The impersonalists talk of Vedanta. Now let us discuss what is Vedanta. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita, Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyo Vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. You're talking of Mayavadis talk of Vedanta. Krishna is saying by all Vedanta I am supposed to be known. I am the compiler, I am the knower, I am the one who has made this Vedanta. And what is the Srimad Bhagavatam? Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Sri Bhagavatam ishyate. Bhagavatam is the Sara, is the essence of all the Vedanta. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the best commentary of Vasudeva explaining Vedanta. Sarva Vedanta Saram. All the Vedanta Saram, essence is Sri Bhagavatam ishyate. Is Bhagavatam. And in the Bhagavatam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, this 9 process of devotional service. So you're talking of Vedanta. In Bhagavad-gita, Krishna talks of Vedanta, he is to be known. He can be known by Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting and hearing about Krishna. And it is not a fact that we don't, and he said that you don't study books, you don't study scriptures. We have so many scriptures. Prabhupada, 70 volumes of books we have. It will take you a lifetime to finish it. 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, more than 10,000 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many other books are there. Actually, they talk of Vedanta. You know, in the Vedanta Sutras, Prabhupada quoted this. You know how many sutras are there in the Vedanta Sutra? 155 sutras make up the complete Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra means codes, just short phrases, and it's an ocean of information in each phrase which we cannot understand. Like, which is the first Vedanta Sutra? Athatho Brahma Jignasa. The second Vedanta, let's now inquire about Brahman, spirit. The second Vedanta Sutra, Janmadhyasya Yataha, that Brahman is from where everything is coming, like this Vedanta. You know what is the last Vedanta Sutra? Anavrittihi Shabdat. The last Vedanta Sutra, very interesting. Anavrittihi Shabdat means, Shabda means sound, and it has to be a spiritual sound. If by Shabda, by spiritual sound vibration, what will happen? Anavritti. Anavritti means you will attain liberation. You see? So Vedanta Sutra, the last Vedanta Sutra is also supporting chanting the holy name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when all the sannyasis came and they spoke like this against Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just ignored and rejected their claims, and he went on because he was going to Vrindavan. So he says, first I will have darshan of my lordships in Vrindavan, and then I'll come back. The return path was also through Banaras. He said that I will come back and I will handle this situation, because he had to defeat the Mayavadis. Defeat not the Mayavadis, give them the real knowledge. In that sense, he has defeat. So Mahaprabhu goes to Vrindavan, has nice darshan, and he comes back. And on his way back, he's back in Varanasi now, and he was having two devotee disciples at that time, Chandrasekhara and Tapan Mishra. Chandrasekhara is where he was staying in his house, and Tapan Mishra's house he was having prasadam from Tapan Mishra. And they were very dear devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So both these devotees, they were feeling very bad and low. How my Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is being blasphemed by this Mayavadi. So they were praying, their hearts were breaking because their Lord is being blasphemed. So they went and approached Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, please do something. Please give them some intelligence so that they can understand that Krishna consciousness is the highest. And Mahaprabhu said, yes, we will do something. So at that time what happens? One Brahmana comes from that place, Kashi. And that Brahmana, he extends an invitation to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Invitation during those days to sannyasis means coming home and serving them with prasadam. Now it was a known fact that Mahaprabhu would never go take any invitation where Mayavadi sannyasis are also invited. And this Brahmana had invited Mayavadi sannyasis, and he also invited Mahaprabhu. But surprisingly, Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation because he had a purpose. He wanted to bless the Mayavadis. He wanted to give them Krishna consciousness. So Mahaprabhu accepts the invitation. And so finally that day comes and Mahaprabhu goes to this Brahmana's house. So as he enters that house, he sees all the Mayavadi sannyasis of Banaras are sitting in his house in the main hall. So Mahaprabhu goes and he first washes his feet. This was the custom, that you have to first wash your feet before entering. So at the entrance of the house there was a foot wash area. He washed his feet, and then just in that place itself, he doesn't go and climb the next level of platform. And that place itself, he just quietly sitting down, like in a humble position, on the floor. Others are in an elevated position. So then all these, Prakashananda Saraswati was the head of the Mayavadi sannyasis. He sees Mahaprabhu has come, and Mahaprabhu at that time does some because he's God. So through his mystical potency, he displays a unique effulgence in him. He did this just to attract the minds of the Mayavadi sannyasis. Tejo, Maha Tejo Maya Prakash. There was a Tejo Maya Prakash. So all the Mayavadi sannyasis who were sitting there, they saw and they realized that he's not an ordinary personality, because they have not seen such a wonderful, brilliant effulgence coming out from a personality, from a person. So the Mayavadi sannyasis, they got up from their place Prakashananda got up and he very respectfully approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he requested Mahaprabhu, why are you sitting here in this place, in this low place? Please come and sit with us. So this action of Prakashananda has to be noted. He was getting purified because he respected Mahaprabhu at that time and invited him to come and sit with him. So Mahaprabhu said, no, I am a low-class sannyasi and I don't deserve that place. He was appearing very humble. And then actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas diksha from Keshava Bharati. So he says, you are in the same, because yet of course that's a different story how he took sannyasa from Keshava Bharati. So nevertheless, Prakashananda Saraswati came and held Mahaprabhu's hand very respectfully and invited him, and now they were seated together. And then a discussion begins, and Keshava Bharati asks Mahaprabhu, you are a disciple, sannyas disciple of Keshava Bharati from our Sampradaya. I would like to know, why are you not engaged in the study of Vedanta? And why are you just singing and dancing? You are a sannyasi. Sannyasi means you should study Vedanta. So can you please tell me, why are you not studying Vedanta? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a reply. My spiritual master told me this. Murkha tumi, tomar nahi go Vedanta adhikar. Krishna mantra japo sada, ei mantra sar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, who is his spiritual master? Ishwarapuri, told him, Murkha tumi. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Murkha? He's the most intelligent personality. He defeated Keshav Kashmiri, who at that time Keshav Kashmiri was a Digvijayi Pandit. Means all over the universe he was the number one educated man, learned man, Digvijayi. He had won in scholarship all over the world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu effortlessly defeated him. So there's no question of him being Murkha, and there are many examples that prove that. So, but nevertheless, there's an instruction for us that Ishwarapuri told Mahaprabhu, and he's telling this to Prakashananda Saraswati, Murkha tumi tomar nahi ko Vedanta adhikar. You are a fool, you have no adhikar on the Vedanta. So what you should do? Krishna mantra japo sada. Simply chant the Krishna mantra. Ei mantra sar. This mantra is the essence. This mantra is everything. And then he further said, Krishna mantra. So he's telling this to Prakashananda. Krishna mantra hoite hobe. So what will happen by chanting this Krishna mantra? Krishna mantra hoite hobe samsara mochana. Means by chanting this Krishna mantra, you will gain freedom from all sufferings in this material world. Krishna mantra hoite hobe samsara mochana, freedom from all this material disturbances. And Krishna naam hoite pabe Krishnera charana. You will attain the lotus feet of Lord Krishna simply by chanting the holy name. See, this is the essence. Naam binu kali kale aar nahi dharma. Sarva mantra sar naam ei shastra marma. Naam binu kali kale aar nahi dharma. There is no other dharma in this world except the holy name. Naam hoi sarva mantra sar. There are so many mantras. The Vedanta Sutras have also so many mantras. Now here it says sarva mantra sar. Means sarva mantra means all mantras. There are crores and crores of mantras in our Vedic scriptures. Upanishads, Puranas, Gita, Mahabharata. Sarva mantra sar. Sar means the essence. Naam, the holy name of Krishna. Sarva mantra sar naam e shastra marma. This is what the scriptures are telling us. So Prabhupada also writes, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the essence of all scriptures. So like this, Prakashananda Saraswati is hearing and he's getting convinced. Of course, it's a very long conversation and just the essence we are discussing. So Mahaprabhu says, in my throat, that's why I always keep this holy name. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo naseva, naseva, naseva. Then Mahaprabhu says, so as I start chanting this holy name continuously, something is happening in me and I am getting bewildered. Naam loite loite mora bhranta hoilo mana. By chanting this holy name, what is happening? Bhranta hoilo mana. I am, bhranta hoilo mana means something is, I am getting bewildered. It is spiritual bewilderment that is happening. And then he says, so when he sees that his mind is going, he's getting bewildered, so he didn't know what to do. So Mahaprabhu says, I went and approached my spiritual master once again. And then I told my spiritual master, my dear spiritual master, what kind of a mantra you have given me? Khiba mantra dila gosai, khiba tar bal. What kind of mantra you have given me, Gosai, spiritual master? Khiba tar bal. What kind of a power this mantra has? That japite japite mantra korilo pagal. That by chanting and chanting this mantra, it is making me go mad. Khiva mantra dila Gosai, khiva tar bala, japite japite mantra korilo pagal. And then his spiritual master tells him that you are very fortunate, my dear son, my dear disciple. He says, Krishna Nama Maha Mantre Eito Swabhav. This is the nature of the holy name. Krishna Nama Maha Mantre Eito Swabhav. Jai Jape. Anyone who chants this holy name, Tara Upajay Bhav. He awakens his love for Krishna. And he upajay bhav. Bhav means one he feels very like today's birth is all directions became very satisfied. This is going next level. Not just satisfied, but you will attain love of Krishna. Bhava means emotions for Krishna. Tar upajay bhav. And like this, it goes on. So generally, Mahaprabhu was explaining, in the material world, the common knowledge is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Only this four. Follow your dharma, then by following your dharma, you attain some wealth, dharma, artha, then with that wealth obtained righteously, you satisfy your senses, kama, and then moksha. Moksha means liberation. It is impersonal liberation. But love of God, this is called Chatur Purushartha. But love of Godhead is beyond these four. It is called Panchama Purushartha. And this is the goal of human life. Not getting stuck with dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Because this will keep you entangled in the material world. Moksha you will get, again you will come back to this material. It's not the real moksha. So like this Mahaprabhu explains, and there are many, and the dialogue continues. And Mahaprabhu explains that the Vedanta that you have understood is the incorrect way. The Vedanta is the ultimate goal of Vedanta is to know Krishna, and Krishna can be known in this Yuga Dharma simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna. This is the Yuga Dharma. So that is why we are chanting the holy names of Krishna, and this is the highest knowledge, this is the highest education, and this is how you can attain your goal in life, and that is why we are all engaged in chanting the holy name. So Prakashananda Saraswati understood, and because it was Mahaprabhu speaking and giving all logic, all reasoning with sound knowledge, argument, Prakashananda was converted along with all his thousands of disciples, and all of them, all the Mayavadi sannyasis and Mahaprabhu and his devotees, all of them have a tumultuous kirtan in Banaras, and all of them are converted. So these are some of the things. So Nama is very powerful. From Nama we can get everything. Nama in the Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned. What? The three wonderful benefits of chanting the holy name. What are the three wonderful benefits? And it goes into progression. 1, 2, 3. Nama Sankirtana Hoite Sarvanartha Nash. The first benefit of chanting the holy name, Nama Sankirtana Hoite, by chanting Nama, Sarva Anartha Nash. All your anarthas will be destroyed. Then the next is Sarva Shubhodaya. Everything becomes auspicious simply by chanting the holy name. Generally, to make something auspicious, we engage in so many things: big havan, big sacrifice, big arrangement, big money spent, big. In the Kali Yuga, Nama Sankirtana Hoite, Sarva Arthanath, Sarva Shubhodaya, everything. And the last is Krishna Premera Ullas. You will get love of Krishna, which is the highest. So, I will just end with one quote of Srila Prabhupada. One devotee is asking, so Prabhupada is basically telling how strong the Hare Krishna mantra is. Devotee, how can one rid himself of sex desire if one continues to chant continuously Hare Krishna but is still being plagued by desire for sex? Prabhupada replies, chant Hare Krishna seriously. The examples are there. Therefore, Haridas Thakur, he was chanting Hare Krishna, and some envious person engaged some very beautiful prostitute to drag him, but she failed. Chanting of Hare Krishna is so strong. So Mahaprabhu also says, Iha hoite, by chanting the holy name. Iha hoite, what is, anybody remembers that verse? Iha hoite, Sarva Siddhi hoibe tomar. By chanting the holy name, Iha hoite, Sarva Siddhi hoibe tomar. You will have all siddhis with you. Krishna Bhakti koile Sarva Karma Krita hoya. By doing Krishna Bhakti of chanting the holy name, Sarva Karma Krita hoya. All your activities will be successful. So you see how much the scriptures are talking about the benefit of the holy name and you know what we can get of the holy name. So when we read all these things, when we hear all these instructions, it should make us very strongly attached to the holy name, not only and strongly attached and very serious about chanting the holy name. Always chanting, hearing attentively, chanting clearly, chanting loudly. These are the ways by which we can improve our chanting. So this verse is talking about everyone became very satisfied. So I thought we can discuss this, how simply by chanting the holy name, the whole world, Nama Jagat, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnu, Jagat Mangalam Amhasam. Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnu, by doing Sankirtana, Jagat Mangalam. The whole Jagat will be peaceful and satisfied and auspicious. So these were some of the things. And we are already late, so we'll stop here. Srimad Granthara, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.